Hello again, YouTube. This is the Truth Man. The channel is the No Matrix, No Simping, All Subjects channel. Next, we're going to cover the Dealing with People series. And I want to talk about dealing with depressed people. Dealing with people who are depressed. Now, this particular person, how you deal with them is probably, I believe, should vary. If it's your kids, if it's your mother, your father, a cousin that you grew up close to. I just burped. In case you're wondering, I just ate a big old chicken sandwich. I be eating, y'all. I ain't get up to this size because I've been dieting. Now, I ain't no fat guy. Like I'm mostly muscle, but I be eating. So, dealing with depressed people, the first thing I say you should always try to get them to have a positive outlook. You should. Like, you should always, if you know a person is suffering from depression, you should always try to reach them and try to help them. But I would say that how much should vary, because you don't want those feelings to get on the inside of you, but you do want to help them. You know, if it's your kids, you know, you want to always encourage them. Like, you don't want to be criticizing them all the time. Here's the thing that people better understand. There are people in this world that for no reason at all, people just want to criticize them. Maybe it's the way they look. Maybe they don't like the way they talk or act or walk. But people nowadays, this cancel culture. So there's people in this world that don't bother nobody, but nobody wants to leave them alone. They want to pick with them. They want to say, hey, what you doing ain't good enough. And I want to tell you, if that's you, don't let them get under your skin, man. Enjoy life. They're just coworkers. If your problems are at work and like I told y'all before, not having friends is not a bad thing, because most of these people are sociopaths, psychotic, weirdos, just all type of negativity going on that they won't see within themselves. So not having friends, that ain't necessarily a bad thing. You can be very level-headed. You start trying to be friends with everybody, they're going to be swaying your beliefs this way, that way. You know, it's not always, and usually not, a good thing to have a lot of friends in 2023. You know, that's a lot of voices pulling you in all different directions. So don't be out here acting like that over these people, man. And that's what, if you know somebody is depressed, you, like I said, you want to try to get them to have a positive outlook, but then you want to kind of want to investigate, if you will, like find out what's causing it. If this is a close friend, if this is a close relative, even a coworker sometimes, like, you want to try to reach them, and then you want to find out what's causing it. Like, you ask them, so what's going on? Like, what's causing you to feel this way? And I shouldn't have ate that before I started. And that's the next thing you want to do. But then after that, you know, you want to kind of like figure out what you could do to help them. Like, what can you do to help them is the next thing. If you can't help them, if you try to help them over time, don't be impatient, give it a little time. If you try to help them and they don't respond right to the help, then you have to program your mind that if something does happen, it wasn't your fault. You tried to help them. So if you're dealing with the guilt of a close friend or a relative or somebody else that possibly deleted themselves, then and you tried to help them, you was reaching out to them, you was doing this, you was doing that, you was spending time with them, what you want to do. You want to spend some time talking to them, listening to them, or even go somewhere with them. If you doing everything you could do and it's still something bad still happens, the next thing you got to do is you got to not blame yourself. You can't blame yourself. Now, if it's your kids, again, here's a mistake we make. This money thing is important. It is. Like, we need to make money. We need to leave something up for our kids. We need to have some. But don't neglect your kids for any of your own pursuits. You should always make time for your kids. I don't care if it's just 20 minutes. You just play the game with them. Hey, let's play the game. Because this is a cruel, cruel world, man. It's a cruel world. And unfortunately, some of these marriages, they end up, this is why I always say that sometimes, even if you divorce, y'all should cooperate with each other to the point where both of y'all is there for the kids. Don't be at each other's throat. Okay, if y'all go your own ways, y'all start dealing with other people, just don't bring them around. And don't be talking to her, yeah, that's why I got this other woman, because you wasn't doing this. Don't do that. She shouldn't even know you got another woman, if you got one. Don't do that, man. Don't rub it in her face. Listen, y'all supposed to be a team. If y'all got kids, y'all gotta forget about that whole thing that failed with y'all and deal with your kids, because sometimes depression arises when one of them parents leave out the picture. So you need two mature parties that's going, just say, okay. It didn't work out between us. I'm not even going to try to make it work. Because if you a man, now I'm finna say something. If you a man and you have to become more feminine, or you have to change who you are as a person and how you think, then you already know that you need to get out of that relationship. But if you have kids and that's the case, then you need to get out of that relationship, but you need to get her to work together where y'all both dealing with these kids. And y'all can't be selfish, because sometimes the kids start acting out. They get depressed. They start acting out because they know, okay, if you a guy, let's say you a kid's father and he coming through his adolescent years and you ain't around, he might do stuff just to, okay, it sounds crazy, but okay, I'm going to do this because I know dad, and let's see what dad has to say. No, dad should be there every step of the way. And get your money right, because if she's trying to keep you out of the picture, and your kids need you, they need a male figure in the house. Kingdoms run better with kings. So they need a male figure. If she trying to keep you away from them, then that's when you might need to take her to court. And karma gonna hit her. You wasting all this money taking somebody to court because they won't cooperate. It's gonna come back. Don't worry. Don't worry. Just be a good person. Just do your thing yourself. And then the universe will do the rest. The Most High created his universe to take care of certain things that he wouldn't have to take care of. He could just sit on the throne and chill. So he got the universe going in motion, take care of some of that stuff for him. But if it's your kids, man, you might have to, like, if their depression is coming from a bully at school or something like that, you might have to just remove them from that school and then see what happens the next time around. Some of y'all might have to homeschool your kids. Maybe some of y'all is better depending on your kid's personality. The main reason why I homeschooled my kids is because I knew their personalities. I knew my oldest boy would have just been fighting everybody because he wasn't going to go for it. And I knew my youngest guy, it would have been the same thing. Like he would have been fighting too, because he's the type that after a while, he going to want to get you. That's how he is. So I was like, okay, well, I think we should probably just homeschool them. And it worked out perfect. They not criminals. They don't got bad friends around them. They ain't grow up with bad kids. They doing just fine. Both of them. And now we homeschool the daughters. So, you got to lose sight of yourself sometimes for your kids. Like your life, when you start having kids, you got to make sacrifices for them. And I ain't talking about emasculative sacrifices. You shouldn't have to get emasculated to sacrifice for them, because you still got to think about yourself. But you're going to have to make some type of sacrifices for your kids to have better, And let's say it's a sister. Be there for them. Call them up, text them, tell them, hey, I'm coming over, Don't say nothing like, I'm coming over, I need to talk to you about this depression stuff. Don't say stuff like that. Just be like, hey, I'm coming over. Or be like, hey, I'm barbecuing today. What you want? I don't want nothing. Come on now. Get out the house sometimes. Come on over here. You know songs they like. Play the songs they like, man. Sometimes reminiscing is good. You don't lose sight of what you need to do now, but reminiscing is good. I'm telling you, it's a stress reliever. Every chance I get, 80s music, 80s wrestling matches, 80s cartoons. I even be watching commercials to bring me into a time where people was more genuine. Like, I just missed those days, but I get back to work. I get back to my business now. But the 80s was a great time, man. So it's all right to reflect and reminisce to a point, though. Especially like at Facebook, like let's say social media is what's doing it to you. Take a break. Or if it's somebody tell them just take a break. Because sometimes what happens to some people is you had a lot of friends when you were younger. And now some of them people that you've grown to love, they don't act the same. They acting funny. Don't worry about them. Don't worry about them. Be your own friend first. And then if you can make new friends, then do it. But don't never let people who sleep, poop, fart, spit, catch colds, they breath stank, they booty stank, or whatever else, just like you, affect you like that. Don't do it, man. These dudes be on here acting like they better. Don't listen to that, man. These dudes, what I'm going to start doing, if it keep on, is I'm going to start revealing flaws. Some stuff prophetically, some stuff based on my observations. Because don't look up to none of us on YouTube like we better people than you. We might be better at this, better at that, have more of this, have more of that, but that don't mean we better than you. Everybody experience trials and tribulations. Some people just be acting fake. Everybody has been or will go through something. The devil don't like none of us. The devil don't even like these people who try to be in cahoots with her. Her ultimate goal is as many souls lost as possible. Because she's scorned. So, those are some things that you could do when people are depressed, you gotta try to help them, but don't hurt yourself trying to help them. My life is good. I don't need to be hearing about negativity every day, because that's not the life that I have. Even with my wants, even with my needs, my life is good to the point where I don't need to be hearing all this stuff like the world is so bad. Especially like sometimes what I notice about people is they be forcing that depression stuff. Like they be, like some people, everything will be, they'll be having good parents, they'll be having money, this, that, but they got something else going on. Because they need, some people just need to humble themselves and be grateful. Just be grateful. Some people, all they need to do is be grateful, and that depression will just go right away. Be grateful at your family. Be grateful for this. Be grateful for that. You ungrateful, so you causing a depression that's in your life sometimes. Some people, not everybody. Some people have something that might have happened to them that for their life to be good, they need to let it go. It happened, man. It's not happening now. It happened then. Some people need to let go of something. Maybe that's some of y'all. Something in your childhood. Maybe somebody didn't love you right. Maybe somebody was neglecting you. Maybe somebody was putting you down. Pick yourself up to prove to yourself that that person wasn't right. See, if you becoming the person that person said you are, that's a mistake too. Especially if that person was everything that they was saying. They was mad at themselves for their choices, and now they want to project that anger on you. Oh, you ain't gonna never do nothing. You ain't gonna never be successful. Be successful. Be successful. Spend your time becoming successful spiritually, mentally, financially, physically. Oh, you just a big fat slob. You always been fat. You was a fat kid. Get in the gym. Do some research. Google can be the best thing and the worst thing that ever happened to people. If you use it right, I'm telling you, man, it'll turn you into a scholar. A real scholar. So, do some research. What can I do to get rid of body fat? One day you should come up to people. If you got to go to a whole nother state, like I'm finna go to this other state and I'm going to get in shape and I'm going to come back and I'm going to show them. Sometimes you do got to show people. Sometimes you do. Like, I'm going to show you. Go to another state, get buff, come back, be like, hey, how you doing? Oh, it's me. You probably don't recognize me. I ain't fat no more. Remember you used to call me Fat Freddy? Now you can call me Buff Freddy. Start flexing on them or some stuff. Hey, man, I wouldn't be mad at you. But listen, all the stuff I talk about is very essential. Like, you want to help people who are depressed, but you don't want to become depressed helping them. Keep your positive outlook in life. And don't get no debates about, just listen. Like, if they venting, just listen to them. And when they slow down or they get quiet, then you start talking. You start talking then. If your job is causing your depression, then some people be like, well, I can't just quit. Yes, you can. But you just got to figure out if that's how you should go about it. Maybe you should work somewhere else, keep working there, get your money built up, and take a trip somewhere or something. Maybe that's the route for you. Or maybe that's what you could tell them. They hate their job. Some people literally rather not live than work their job. That's how weirdo these people is. I'm telling you, these people, I ain't experienced that because I didn't let them get to me like that. But some people, you be wanting to slap they teeth out. Like, you be thinking, like, I used to think, like, you only talking like this because we at work. If we was on the street, you don't want to think like that either, man. I have. Like I had this one dude just used to make problems for me at work, talking about me and stuff. When I was new on the job and stuff like that, I'm trying to learn the job. I had a few words with him. He went like a little girl and got all of them practically to turn against me. So I said, yeah, look who's here. I said, let's see if he talk all that stuff now. Now check this out. This is some deep stuff. So I go up to him. I'm ready for him to say something slick. I was gonna say we ain't at work now. What's going on? What you want to do? So he thought he was so tough too. Like, and I know he wasn't messing with me. Like, I'm not saying that I'm invincible, but I knew he wasn't messing with me. I knew it. Like, I seen how he moved. He wasn't messing with me. So I'll go up to him, and he act like we was best friends. Hey, Howard, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. I felt good. Like, man, maybe we ain't got no problem after all. We got back to work. The next day, he went right back. Wasn't talking to me, acting like that. I said, man, this dude is a punk. I ain't even focused. I ain't even pay no attention to him no more. I'm like, he a punk. He ain't say none of that when we was outside of the job. That's what people do. Another dude, I walked out with him like, man, he think he tough, man. Let's see. He ain't say nothing to me. So I'm like, cool, I'm over it. I'm done with it. Then the kids, that's why if you in corrections, do not be arguing with your coworkers in front of them kids. Because the first thing they gonna do is every time they get mad at you, they gonna act like you got punked out, HO'd out, and every time they get mad at that other person, they gonna do the same thing. So don't be arguing with these people at work. If you gotta argue with somebody, go somewhere where, if you're in corrections or you're a police officer, where they can't hear you. Because I'm telling you, people play games like that. And one dude, I turned the tables on him because I was arguing with them dudes sometimes. He tried to bring up that situation like, man, you ain't say nothing like a little B. I said, you wasn't listening. And then I said, matter of fact, you talking about me. I said, he didn't put him up on me. Because that person, somebody came up to them with their guards up. It was funny. I did it how the dude did it. Like he was like a statue. He had his dukes up right in dude facing that. I said, he was ready for you and you didn't do nothing. So you should be the one to talk. And the other dudes was laughing at him. It was kind of funny to me too. But your job, man, look into other places. There's nothing wrong with quitting jobs. Like if you go to another job and they even worse, quit that one too. Figure out, okay, how I'm gonna quit. Am I gonna work here a little while, stack my money, or you just gonna flat out quit? That's why you should always have a couple $1,000. Whatever your bills is for the month, you should have at least $500 more than that. So if your bill, and this is how people get in trouble. This is how people depressed, they got to keep going to them jobs they hate. If your bills are $3,000 a month, then get $3,500 untouched. Just put it somewhere. And then once you got that $3,500, figure out something else that you could do to generate money. Where y'all got to learn how to be alone. Like it's so many things. DoorDash, Grubhub, Instacart, Draver, Lyft. It's things you could do where you would even make more than your job, where they messing with you at. Okay, you say, well, if you can't handle getting paid every day, then don't take it. You can make it every week. You like me, I cash out every day. But some people don't want to do that, or they can't do that. So you don't have to be at these jobs. It's creating stress and distress for you. They clicky. They like high school. I'm telling you, when that high school atmosphere, it just don't ride. It don't fly with me, man. I don't like it. Them high school atmospheres, no. I liked some of the people at my high school, but a lot of them I didn't. Like there was a lot, it was like maybe 70-30. I liked it practically like 30% of the people in high school. And some of them, the ones that I liked it, some of them are on my Facebook. Some of them ain't, but some of them are. So I didn't like the high school atmosphere. I liked the elementary and middle school better than high school. Like from day one, I just didn't like the atmosphere. Like how the dudes was acting. Over the summer, they got bigger. They started going through puberty and stuff. You know, I didn't, no. Sports, it was all right. But like a lot of things in high school, I didn't like. I didn't like them teachers who liked it, the bad kids, didn't like the good kids. So I was real happy when they put me in PAT, Program for the Academically Talented. Because it wasn't no bad kids. Like all the kids in those classes were good kids. But like when I was in the other unit, it's like they could be doing all kind of stuff. And the teacher laugh it off or be right back there with them. The minute that I did something though, being a quiet kid, like I knew a lot of people, but I said, man, I'm chilling in high school. I ain't even finna be like that no more. And so I was low key in high school. And I noticed that a lot of, including the principal, like people fought every day. The minute I got a punch off a dude, because I did damage with that punch, he suspended me indefinitely. Like I didn't know I thought he was gonna try to expel me. Because his nose was kind of cracked, probably was broke. Swole his eye up, like, you know, when you hit somebody right here, like, bust his lip and his nose wouldn't stop bleeding. I caught him, nasty. Because some people, you know how they say, don't mess with them quiet ones. That's the truth. Because I had to show a couple people in high school that was the truth. Like one dude, I knew him since elementary. And he always was bigger than everybody. He was the starting running back in high school. Like I knew him. I knew how he was. He knew how to get under my skin because we knew each other since we was kids. And he always was trying to annoy me. So we on the same football team in high school. And we had homecoming. What they did was they got the cheerleader uniforms. And they put them on for homecoming, right? Now, he knows me. He know that I ain't for all that, you know. So I saw him coming. Like, I knew he had these little beady eyes, man. So he saw me. He knew I used to be in the library, like, towards the end of the day because it was quiet. You know, I was searching for college stuff. I used to always go to the library. I saw him in the doorway. I said, he finna come in here messing with me. I just know he is. Because he was in the doorway. And he looked right at me. He had on a dress, had on a cheerleader uniform as a joke. He wasn't gay. He had, you know, trust me, man. He was, but they just, back then people looked at it as a joke, but we ain't gonna talk about that. So I saw him looking at me. I'm thinking in my mind, he finna come in here messing with me. He comes in there, come right next to me, right? And he said, hey, baby. And kissed me on the cheek. I turned around, I pushed him real hard. He flew over the table, was on the ground. Like he was a running back. So he used to laugh when somebody get a good one off. Like if I get him in practice, he used to laugh. He was laughing that time. They kicked us both out of the library. Like, get out of here. We don't do that in here. Like the librarian was colorblind. But he saw that and he was like, we don't do that in here. Y'all got to go get out of here. Get out. So they, knowing that I be in there every day, they kicked me and him out the library. He came in there. He grabbed my hand. Hey, baby. And kissed me on the cheek. I turned, I pushed, boom. He slid over the tables. And he was laughing. So, to make a long story short, Make a long story short, you not gonna like everybody. You not gonna please everybody. But you, every step of the way in your life or somebody else's, if this don't apply to you and it's somebody you know, take what I'm saying and try to help that person. But everything ain't gonna go our way in this life. And if you a man and you ambitious and your wife is you dealing with depression, don't wait for her to start doing little weird stuff. You got a decision to make with that. Like if your wife is depressed and y'all having problems anyway, you want to try to help her too. But if she don't respect you or don't listen to you like that, you might need to separate yourself from that situation. If you can make it better, then make it better. But if not, don't make things worse for you. Don't go routes that people want you to go that's not the best route for you. Because that'll create depression in you. Like if you trying to work jobs and you know you a business-minded individual, you need to work towards business. I dealt with, like, I wouldn't say depression, but I was frustrated because a lot of the stuff I'm seeing right now, I had this idea years ago, but I chose to work jobs instead. But I had to forgive myself. Like, hey man, you still got time to make this happen. Like, I can't believe, like one thing in particular, I looked at how much he sold his business for, and it was an idea that I had probably before he did. He sold it for $400 million. Like, I had to forgive myself. And some of y'all got to forgive yourself, man, and do better in life. You know, you still living, you could do better. If you say, well, how you good for you to say, easy for you to say, I'm sick. If you sick and you can talk or you can see or you can do certain things, those things you can do, enjoy those and work through those. And I'm going to see y'all on the next video. This is The Truth Man. The channel is the No Matrix, No Simping, All Subjects channel.